In the third generation of the car, the manufacturer abandoned the use of plastic body elements, front fenders. As for corrosion resistance, it is at a high level, and if the car has not been restored after an accident, then rust does not appear on it for a long time. Like most manufacturers, Renault has saved on the quality of the paintwork, therefore chips, scratches and swelling of paint on a car body older than 3 years should not be surprising. But if they are not there, then this is already an alarming bell and a reason for a thorough check of the geometry of the body. Very often, sharp changes in temperature of the windshield in the area of U200B the air ducts cracks appear. Pay attention to this during inspection, since new glass will cost from 2 to 400 USD. The 1.5 engine has received the greatest distribution in the secondary market. One of the common problems with this power unit is the failure of the particulate filter. The first signs of a clogged catalyst will be a deterioration in the dynamic performance of the engine, as well as unstable idling of the engine. It is not worth delaying replacing the catalyst if you do not want to carry out expensive engine repairs. Closer to 200,000 kilometers, replacement of the turbine liners is required. If used incorrectly, it can last less than 100,000 kilometers. Replacing a turbine is not a cheap pleasure, therefore, when diagnosing, pay special attention to it. The 2.0 engine is perhaps the most interesting option among diesel engines. Unlike other diesel power units, it is equipped with a metal timing chain, which has a longer source, up to 200,000 kilometers. When buying a car with a diesel engine, you need to understand that their fuel system is demanding on fuel quality, and if you refuel at untested gas stations, expensive repairs will not be long in coming. As operating experience has shown, gasoline power units have a number of disadvantages. So, in particular, in the 1.6 motor together with the timing belt, it is necessary to change the phase regulator. If this is not done, then over time the engine will stop starting. The phase regulator resource is 50–70,000 kilometers. The most common flaws that all gasoline engines have are often the failure of the starter, ignition coils and candles. Also, it is worth noting the smaller resource of the crankshaft damper pulley. As practice shown, it wears out on a run of 60–80,000 kilometers. When pulley is destroyed, the particles of the pulley fall under the timing belt. This can lead to a belt break. For the same reason, the attachment belt also breaks. For Renault Megane III, a wide selection of transmissions is available, 5- and 6-speed mechanics, as well as 4-, 5- and 6-speed machine. Theoretically, manual and automatic transmissions are considered maintenance-free, but many experts do not agree with this and recommend servicing the gearbox at least once every 60,000 kilometers. Operating experience has shown that automatic transmission is more reliable than mechanics. The most common problems of a mechanical box are considered to be failure of the input shaft bearing at a range of up to 100,000 km and acidification of the gear selection control cables. Constant lubrication is required. The clutch disc and basket are quite hardy and easily take care of more than 120,000 km, but the release bearing cannot boast of such a resource and needs to be replaced after 50–70,000 km. The automatic transmission is quite reliable, and with proper maintenance, it will last 250–300,000 km without repair. A McPherson strut suspension is installed at the front and a torsion beam at the rear. Typical malfunctions of the front suspension: rapid wear of bushings and stabilizer struts, maximum service lines 15–30,000 km. Silent blocks of levers live up to 50,000 km. Shock absorbers and thrust bearings on average serve about 70,000 km. Closer to 80,000 km, ball bearings and wheel bearings will need to be replaced. The rest of the suspension elements nurse up to 150,000 km. The rear suspension belongs to the category of not killed, but there is a small clash here. Before buying, pay attention to the condition of the rear brake discs, the fact that wheel bearings are integrated into them. Because of this part is considered the most expensive in the suspension. The price for one disc reaches 200 USD. As for the steering, it does not cause any special problems. Steering tips, on average, take care of 50–60,000 km, traction up to 100,000 km. The Renault Megan III salon has not only an original design, but also high-quality finishing materials and sound insulation. Thanks to the use of soft plastic and high-quality assembly, crickets in the cabin are a rarity even for cars older than 5 years. The car does not have significant problems with electrical equipment. However, owners on the forums often discuss the inconvenience caused by a failure in the system that reads information from the chip card. If you are the owner of this car model, please describe the problems that you had to face during the operation of the car. Perhaps it is your review that will help readers of our site when choosing a car.